Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to you all. Abraham Lincoln quoted, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening that axe." How true is that? Sharpening the axe is nothing but the level of preparation and efforts you are prepared to put in to acquire, say, a skill. And that is precisely why we all are here today on this bright Saturday morning on a perennial quest of knowledge to sharpen that axe. And a big, big salute to your quintessential commitment to that one asset called ourselves. Here are a few ground rules to abide by for a prolific session. Please turn off your audio and video unless instructed. Please use the chat box to communicate as and when instructed. Please turn off all the noise-making devices or put them in silent mode. Please do not switch on the audio while the training is in progress, as it may interrupt the speaker. Speakers are requested to refrain from making any references to politics, sex, or religion in their speeches. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you our MC for today. She is a Mumbai girl living in Jordan since 2007. She joined Toastmasters in 2010 just to have fun and had so much of it. Currently a member of 5 clubs and wants to give back to the TM community all that she got and is still getting. She is currently serving as the president of Power Elite Toastmasters Club. She is part of the management team in an IT services company in Jordan since 2007. She loves nature and is an ardent advocate about protecting the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Toastmaster Sudha Narayan. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Sudha.
Good morning. And for all the silence that we had at the beginning, I hope you're all geared for all the learnings that you're going to get now. And the person who will be conducting today's session is somebody who likes to be thought of as, he likes to be described that if we can do it today, let us do it now. And that's who our person we are going to learn from. He is our immediate past Region 11 advisor, Sunil Kotarattil, DTM. His smile is his logo, his personality is his business card, and the way he makes others feel is his trademark. With more than 13 years in Toastmasters, he has served at club level in all officers' positions before leading area, division, and district. He has served one of the largest districts as the program quality director, paving a strong foundation for the club, area, division, and district. He has led District 105 in its first year of reformation as district director to world number 4 position. Wearing his logo smile always on his face, he finds inner happiness by involving deeply in activities that has a vision to make a positive impact around. And without any doubt, I am sure that he is going to impact each and every one of us today, not just for the judges training, but to feel more committed towards doing the right thing always in our Toastmaster journey. And before I hand over the proceedings to him, I would just want to say that today's program will start with the judges training, and then you will have a small stretch break, after which there's a session on contest management. And after that, of course, we cannot end any session without addressing all the questions that you may have with answers. And without wasting any more time, I would like to call on DTM Sunil to take over the proceedings for today. Over to you, DTM Sunil.
Thank you. Thank you very much, DTM Sudha. Thank you, our PQD Rania, for organizing this event. And thanks to each and every one who is present here. I can see more than 275 members here on this Saturday morning. Hats off to you. Silence is golden, and you have observed silence before starting this session. And that proves you are the golden members of District 105, the golden leaders of District 105. Hats off to you again. Let us start. So as DTM Sudha mentioned, we'll start with the speech contest judges as the main objective of today's session. How many of you have seen, or how many clubs have completed the speech contest session this year? Is there any club that has completed the speech contest at the club level? Can't see any answer. So I hope we are yet to start in our district that the club level contest. So this is the right time. So let us move on. Judges training, or rather participating in speech contest, it's an opportunity. It empowers the members, whether you are a contestant, whether you are a role player, you are a judge, or whether you are just an organizer or even helping the organizer to conduct the club contest. You are empowering yourself. It's an opportunity. So I will say, when you're planning your club contest, don't miss this wonderful opportunity to empower yourself and the club members. We need the club members to be empowered. We need them to be with the club. So utilize this opportunity. So let's have that in our mind before we start the session, that we, by conducting a club contest in a best way, by offering our service as judges, by training ourselves as judge, or even participating in club contest, that's some of the best service we can do to our club. Let's empower ourselves and let us empower our club. The purpose of speech contest is to provide competitive speaking experience for Toastmaster members, provide interesting educational programs for members and the public, provide the audience an opportunity to learn by observing professional speakers. That is the purpose of speech contest. Now the judges, let's come to judges straight away. To be a judge at any level, we have to meet with certain eligibility criteria. That's very clearly written in the certification of eligibility and code of ethics. You can see here, at a club level, at a club contest, a judge has to be a paid member. That's all. Any paid member can be a judge at the club contest. So that opens up the opportunity to our wonderful leaders, 275 plus leaders present here. You all can participate, or you all can contribute at the club level by being a judge. That's a wonderful opportunity. Let's don't miss that. When you go to the next level, higher levels, area, division, district, there are more requirement, eligibility criteria. At an area, division, district, a judge has to be a paid member for minimum of 6 months and has to complete the level 1 and 2 of any path, or the first six projects of the old program, CC, old manual CC. And when you go to higher levels above district, again, there are more stringent criteria. But however, let us limit our thought process today, how to serve at the club level, because that's a starting point. So at the club level, again, let's have a clear understanding that any paid member can be a judge. That's a starting point. So as a judge, you have a lot of responsibility. We trust you. in Toastmasters, it's the complete responsibility given to you, the members. The members are the powerful source in Toastmasters. Their responsibility towards Toastmasters, towards themselves, that's the driving factor. There's no police here. There's nobody questioning your act. It's you who are participating, learning, and developing yourself. So the main responsibility I will say is to yourself. So we trust you and you develop your strength, your leadership skills by participating in Toastmasters, by becoming a better human being, by becoming a better leader. So let us again reinforce that by being a judge or by involving in the contest, you are developing your leadership skills. So at any point of time when you are participating in Toastmasters program, keep that core values close to your heart, especially integrity, ethics. That should be the driving factor. That's where we grow as a true leader. Judging helps you a lot by being a judge at club level, area level, helps you a lot in developing your leadership skills. Again, don't miss the opportunity. It's a wonderful opportunity. Just see the code of ethics. You'll see you're signing this. As a judge, you will be signing this form and handing over to the chief judge the beginning of the contest. So read them carefully and understand the depth of each point or each commitment you are making. That's if you feel, if you think in a leadership point of view, then you will understand how much it helps you to grow as a true leader who keeps the ethics and integrity to close to your heart. As a judge, we have only one objective: pick up the winners. So that's our aim. How many of you have used this form to select the best speaker, best evaluator, best table topic speaker during the club meetings? Maybe lately during the online meetings, you may be using Mentimeter and uh, other forms, but basically, most of you may have used this form or some other way to select the best speaker, best evaluator, and best tabletop speaker during your club meetings, right? I can see a lot of hands being raised. Wonderful. So you all are familiar with the way or the form or whatever the way you use to select the best speaker, evaluator, or tabletop speaker during the club meetings. Now that's how you're selecting. I'll not go into the details how or the process, how you select the best speaker or best evaluator, best tabletop speaker during the club meetings. I don't go through this process, but it's all your judgment at that point of time. Correct? During the club meeting, you would just select. You feel that he's the best speaker and you vote for him. You feel just he's the best evaluator, you vote for him. And we gave the trophy to the best speaker or best evaluator and best tabletop speaker during our meetings. Now, during the contest, are we doing the same process or is it different? That's the different. That's what we are going to analyze during today's session. Now, many times when I have been a judge at the end of the contest, some of the contestants have approached me and requested for an evaluation. How was my speech? What improvement can I make? So as a judge, I was not evaluating the speech. So I have to humbly inform the contestants that I'm really sorry, I was not evaluating your contest I heard your speech, but I was not evaluating your speech. I cannot give you the suggestions right now. I was judging your speech. So as a judge, you are judging the speech based on certain criteria. But as an evaluator in a club, you will be doing, your role is completely different. So let us clearly understand the difference between judging and evaluation. In judging, we select a winner. But in evaluation, while you're evaluating a speech during a club meeting, you are not judging. You are seeing the plus and minus of the speech, the areas of improvement, the areas where the speaker has done the best. And you give a speech appraisal and the advices for areas of improvement. And during judging, you judge the speech based on very clearly defined criteria. However, in evaluation, you read the speech objectives and go as per the speech objectives. So during evaluation, you will be measuring the performance of the speaker against the purpose, against the speech objectives. And a judge will not be giving any suggestions or explanations on the speech or speech topic. However, while you are giving evaluation to a speaker during your club meetings, you'll be offering suggestions for improvement. You'll be like a mentor to the speaker. The speaker will get more valuable information from an evaluator, but not from a judge. Because that's the objective. That's the way a judge approaches the speech and the evaluator approaches speech. There's a big difference in that. And judges' decisions are confidential. After the speech contest, many times you may have heard this. The judges were not so good. They didn't judge it properly. Or this was perfect. The judging aligned with my thoughts or my decision. See, here again, we have to understand clearly how we select the winners, how we select the best speaker during a club contest based on our intuition, based on our valuation, based on our judgment. That's completely different from the way a judge select the winners during a club contest. I hope you can feel the difference, that how it's a big difference between how we select the best speaker, best evaluator, best table topic speaker during a club meeting, and how the judges select a winner during the club contest. So that's that. So sometimes when you apply the uh, the 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 process, how you select the winners during the club meeting, during a club contest, then there can be misinterpretations, misjudgments. So the audience, many times during the club contest, may have a difference in opinion about the winners or about the judging. That's quite common. So that happens because of this difference. If you clearly understand the difference between the way we select winners during the club meeting and the way we select winners during the contest, then this misconception will be cleared. To have a clear understanding or to see the difference, we have to familiarize with the balance sheet. As we mentioned, the judges, they go with certain criteria, not intuition, not the process how we select the winners during a club meeting. The judges go very clearly with certain criteria to find the winners. So let us get familiarized with the balance sheet for each type of contest. Judges' balance sheet has two portions, the top portion and the bottom portion. So let us take the top portion first. So all this we are doing to help to pick a winner. We have to find the winner. As a judges, our objective is to find the winners. how we find the winners. So for international speech contest, judges guide and ballot sheet. This is the top section, top portion of the ballot sheet. So as we mentioned, there are very clear judging criteria to select the winners and mark against each. Suggested point values for each item, each criteria. So speech development, effectiveness, speech value, this together, content. So 50 marks for content, 50 points for content. And in that 50 points, 20 for speech development, 15 for effectiveness, 15 for speech value. For delivery, 30 marks, 30 points. That 30 points, 10 points for physical, the appearance, body language and all, 10 points for voice, the flexibility, volume, the voice modulation and all, and 10 points for the manner, the enthusiasm, the directness of the speaker. And lastly, language, it has 20 marks in International Speech Contest. And again, 10 marks, 10 points for appropriateness. How appropriate is the language? Then another 10 points for correctness, the grammar, pronunciation, word selection and all. So this is the criteria for international speech contest. Same way, we have the criteria for humorous speech contest also. Similar to international speech contest. The content, instead of 50 is 55, delivery is 30, language is 15. Again, is broken down to 15 for speech development, 10 for effect, 15 for speech value, 15 for audience response during the humorous speech contest. The top of the table topics contest, judges ballot sheet. That's again the content 55, similar to the international and humor, content 55, delivery 30, language 15. So you can see the judges go as per this defined criteria to give points to the speakers under each session. They write down here, the speaker's name will be here, written here, and the judges, while observing the speech, they will be giving points against each defined criteria to get the total marks. Evaluation speech contest, it's a bit different to international humorous or table topics. Here, the judges see in the evaluator the analytical quantity, the relations, technique, and summation. So this has 40, 30, 15, and 15 points respectively. I hope how the top portion of the judges ballot sheet are used to assess the speaker or the evaluator so that the judges can reach the conclusion, pick up the winners. Now here, it's very important that as a judge, you all be so familiar with the judging items mentioned here under each category and the suggested points. Speech development, how much points can we give to the speaker? So getting familiarized with the judges ballot sheet is very important. There is no single way of marking the ballots. How much points you can give out of 20, how much points you can give against speech development, or out of 40, how much points you can give to the evaluator, the evaluations contestant on analytical quality. There's no single way of marking the ballot. We'll come to that later, what are the different ways you can adopt. Now, during the speech, observe the speech carefully. Take notes based on the judging items, not based on our feelings. focus on the speech. During that 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minute speech, focus on the speech, not the ballot. Because the ballot, whatever is the judging item, we should have a very clear understanding in beforehand. So while we are watching the speech, while you are listening to the speech, focus on the speech so that that will be fresh in your mind, and you'll be given at least 1 minute of silence towards the end of the speech to mark the ballot. So as a judge, focus on the speech, understand or analyze the speech based on the judging items you are fully aware of, and then give the points, write down the points against each judging item in the top portion of the judge's ballot sheet provided to you. Here, again, let me reinforce on one thing. As a judge, you are developing your leadership qualities. One of the leadership quality we all know is the listening skills. How keen you are, you can listen to the speech, how deep you can go in listening to the speech. So this can be improved over a period of time. So that's why I said silence is golden, and you have observed that silence, pin drop silence at the beginning of the session. So during the speech contest also, let's maintain the organizers will maintain a pin drop silence in the hall so that you can focus on the speech, you can improve your listening skills and develop yourself as a better leader. So don't miss the opportunity. Again, I'm focusing on that. This is an opportunity, a golden opportunity that should not be missed in your leadership journey. And when you mark all the points, when you write down all the points against each judging item after the speech, then sum the totals at the end. When the speeches are over, say if there are 7 speakers, 8 speakers, 10 speakers, when all the speakers are completed, you will be given again around 5 minutes time to tally the totals, the marks. So you can see the process here. After each speech, the points are written down and you are writing the total. So first speaker completes the speech, you have written down the total. Second speaker completes the speech, the total is written there, the top portion of the judge's ballot sheet. Third speaker completes, the total is written. So fourth, fifth, sixth, the total is. Even if you haven't written the total, you can do it later after all the speakers have completed. So the points are already given. So what all you're doing when the 7 or 8 or 10 participants, 10 speakers, the contestants' performance is completed, you're just totaling. It's just totaling and finding the winners. So there, unlike the way we select the winners during club meetings, here we arrive the decision based on the criteria, judging items, which is entered immediately after each speech. So towards the end, we just calculate that, we just sum it up, and we find whoever gets the maximum points is the first place winner for that particular judge, and whoever gets the second total will be the second place winner, and so on. And there may be a tie. So 2 contestants may have got same points. So you have to break the tie yourself, and you have to decide who will take the top position and the next position. Again, you can refer back to the notes you have taken during this speech and then break the tie yourself. And end of the contest, end of that 5 minutes after all contestants have completed the speech, we then get into the winners list, the first, second, third. That's where the bottom portion of the ballot paper comes in picture. So again, follow the judging criteria. for the judging items when you're listening to the speech, not the overall impression. So this is the difference how we select the winners during a regular club meetings. There, the overall impression plays a lot of role because there is no criteria. However, during a speech contest, judges go with very clearly defined criteria, and the points are given against each criteria. The overall impression doesn't play a role. Now, judging techniques, before we go into the bottom portion of the balance, let's complete the process here, the top portion, how we mark, how we give the points. There are different techniques, as we mentioned earlier, there are different techniques you can adopt. These are not rules, this is just different techniques that can help you as a judge to approach. So first is perfect role model. So measure or give the points by measuring against your role model, your ideal. Say a world champion, say Romana or Manoj Vasudevan or Lance Miller is your role model. When you talk about the best speaker, this is your role model. Then when you are giving points against each criteria, each judging criteria, keep the role model as your baseline and give the marks, give the points against each criteria for each speaker. So the first speaker completes his speech and you get 1 minute there to write down the marks, write down the points against each criteria. You can imagine the role model in your mind and then compare with the role model on speech development, on the body language, physical, everything, and write down the points against each criteria. That's one way of one technique you can adopt. The second technique will be keep the first speaker as the role model, as the model, as the baseline. The first speaker, whatever he delivers, give that as, say, you can say 50%. That's the baseline. From that baseline, work on the other speakers. Compared to the first speaker, the second speaker scored less or more on speech development, on each criteria, each judging item. That's another way to, another technique to mark the points. Again, you can define the baseline in a different way. You can put yourself as the baseline, yourself. Me as a speaker, my performance is like this. And against my performance or keeping my performance as the baseline, I feel this first speaker he scores more, say 10 points more, 10 marks more, or 2 points more than me as a baseline. So that way you can measure or you can mark the points. That's another way of marking. Again, these are just a technique to help you how to approach the balance sheet, the top section of the balance sheet, how to give points by defining a baseline. And you can develop your own technique also, whatever way you are comfortable with. But be comfortable. As a judge, have your own technique. You can, preferably, I will suggest, keep a baseline always. Against the baseline, you mark each speaker. You give the points against each judging criteria, whatever point you will give as a judge. That will help a lot, keeping a baseline as a reference. Now let's go to the bottom portion of the balance sheet. As I mentioned earlier, at the end of the performance of all contestants, you have completed your top section, top portion of the judges' balance sheet. The marks are given, the points are tallied, the first, second, third positions are already calculated. And if there's a tie, you have broken the tie yourself by going back to your notes or by refreshing the page. Bottom portion of the ballot contains this information. The first thing you can do as a judge is to sign the bottom portion of the ballot sheet and write your name. Because without the signature and the name, the ballot sheet will be, the bottom portion of the ballot sheet that will not be valid. So that's the first thing you can do. And there's a difference between the judge's ballot sheet and tie-breaking judge's ballot sheet, bottom portion. The voting judge's ballot sheet will contain, you have to write the first place winner, second place winner, and third place winner only. Whereas the tie-breaking judge has to fill in all the contestants in their order. The first place, second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place. If there are 8 contestants, the 8 of them has to be mentioned in the tie-breaking judge's official ballot in the order of the winner, order of the judge. Whatever marks they have, whatever points they have got tallied from the top portion of the ballot sheet. So this is a must. Votes must be cast for first, second, and third place, or the ballot will be voided. So please ensure as a judge, before you, as soon as you get the ballot sheet, you can sign and write your name so that you will not forget it towards the end. Then towards the end, before handing over the ballot sheet, the bottom portion of the ballot sheet to the chief judge or the tally counter, ensure that you have filled the first, second, third place winners in your ballot sheet. And same way, the tie-breaking judge, if you are a tie-breaking judge, ensure that you ran all contestants and write their names in the bottom portion of the ballot sheet. That's about the ballot sheet. Getting familiarized with the ballot sheet is very important. You can do that in advance. That's the major, I will say, the major learning experience as a judge you should do. Refreshing. If you have already done a lot of judging in the past, still always get it refreshed. So before or immediately after you commit yourself as a judge to any speech contest, take out the ballot sheet and refresh yourself with the judging criteria and go through them, each one of them, familiarize with those points, judging criteria. It's very important to ensure that we do the best judging possible and our commitment. Remember our commitment to our members, the contestants, and even to the Toastmaster, finally to ourselves. We are doing this to develop our leadership skills, to become a better human being. Now let's go deep into the judging criteria. You have seen the top portion of the judge's ballot sheet, which clearly defines the judging items. Each category, you have seen that. It's just to summarize the content, delivery, language. For international, it was content 50, delivery 30, language 20. For humorous and table topics, it was 55, 30 for delivery, 15 for language. So you can see here, content is the king. On international humorous and table topic speeches, content is the king. Then next comes delivery. Delivery is the key. 30 marks, 30 points for delivery. Language is the vehicle that takes the speaker, the contestant to its for the finishing point. So for international, language is a bit more important, 20 points for that. For humorous and table topics is 15. For evaluation, is completely different. It's not a speech. Here, as a judge, we are not evaluating the speech, but we are evaluating the evaluator. We are judging the evaluator, evaluation contestant. So here, when the evaluation contestant evaluate the target speech, as a judge, you will be analyzing, judging the analytical quality of the contestant, whether the evaluator or the contestant, evaluation contestant, analyze the speech effectively. So 40 points for analytical quality, 30 points for recommendations. It's very important that the evaluation speech contestant give recommendations to the target speaker. So as a judge, you will be observing whether the evaluation contestant has given proper recommendations, useful recommendations to the speakers. And if he has given, so accordingly, you can give the points. Maximum 30 points can be given for recommendations. Technique, how the evaluation contestants have approached the speaker with empathy, with so that technique, the evaluation technique used by the contestant is analyzed by the judge and points are given accordingly. Find a summation. How effective was the summation of the evaluation contestant? So judges observe that and give points maximum 15 and write down that in the evaluation speech contestant ballot sheet top portion. Going to again each one of it. Content, the first 50 marks for 50 points for international speech contest, 55 for humorous and table topic. So in content, the development, international, humorous and table topic is same criteria, same way we assess. So whether as a judge, you will be observing whether this speech was structured around a purpose, whether there was a good opening body and conclusion, a definite opening body and conclusion while the speaker was delivering the speech. Were the examples, illustrations, facts, figures were effective and smooth transitions, all these will come into development. Now, effectiveness is another judging criteria. International humorous and table topics, judgment on of how the speech came across, how effective it was the purpose very clear, was the content aligned with the message, was the audience interested in the topic, how you as a judge got, was the speaker or the contestant able to draw your interest into the topic, how successful he is. All this will come into effectiveness, value. But these are the points, these are the judging criteria against which you as a judge will be evaluating the speech or seeing the points or giving the points against. So it's very important to understand what makes this judging criteria. So accordingly, if you understand all this, it will help you to grow grow better as a judge. Value to the audience, that is contribute to the thinking. Did the speaker say something original, important ideas? The humor is not really, humor is international humorous, even in international, the contestants can use humor, but how much it adds value to the speech. Finally, response. Response is applicable only for humorous speech contest. The reaction of the audience to the speech, did they understand and laugh? So all these criteria, knowing what adds to this criteria helps a lot in ensuring that you make the right judgment. So for international, speech development has 20 points. Effectiveness has 15. Speech value, 15. Same way, humorous and table topics, all these points are applicable as you can see in the top portion of the balance sheet. So get refreshed with this judging criteria, and you have the time even while you are at the speech contest, when you are seated properly at the speech contest venue, when you receive the balance sheet in your hand, go through that again, have one more time, have it refreshed one more time, and on the uh, back side of the balance sheet, you can see again this description of each judging criteria. So go through them carefully so that you get the opportunity, use the opportunity of your judging experience to grow yourself as a leader. Same way, delivery. Delivery is the key. The quality of speakers' delivery is measured through these criteria: physical, voice, manner. Physical is the physical appearance, the appearance reinforcing the message, whether profound, sad, humorous, the gestures, expressions, the body positioning on the stage, effective use of the speaking area. All this will come into this particular judging criteria. So in international, you have a clear section to mark, to vote, or to give points against the physical aspects of the speaker, how he delivered, how the body language was. So all those should come into this particular, when you give points under this particular criteria. Same the voice, flexible, with the varying pitch, the voice modulation, the variety of rate and volume, clear audibility, whether the speaker has used the voice modulation to suit his speech, his content, his conveying the message. So all those points, comparing with your baseline speaker, whether he has grown to higher level in voice modulation or lower level compared to a baseline speaker, you can accordingly mark under the voice here. Same way the manner, the enthusiasm, assurance. Was he so enthusiastic? It's all the delivery. How effective was the delivery? Does speaker believe in the message? Could you feel it? Confidence in reactions from the audience. So all this, the manner, whatever your points against the baseline speaker, give that against these two, this under international humorous here under this section, and mark the points in the top section of the balance sheet. Finally, the language is the vehicle. The language, we just see whether it's appropriate and the correctness of the language. So international, humorous, and table topic all has these criteria: the language criteria, appropriateness and correctness, the grammar, pronunciation, word section. Then all this comes here only. Again, be very careful as a judge. You are marking the points against this item only. Suppose the grammar or pronunciation, word selection, the correctness is so poor in a speaker, then still, if the message is clear, if he has scored high on the other, he can even score high on the other points, other judging criteria, but it should affect only this particular judging criteria. It should not affect the other criteria. We'll come to those affecting, or how it can be influenced, how one element can influence the other elements. That will come separate, we'll discuss separately. But here, understand clearly the balance sheet. how we are as a judge giving points against the defined criteria, a very clearly defined criteria which is specified in the judge's pad sheet. Evaluation, as you mentioned, is completely different. Judging the evaluation contest is different. It's not a speech contest. We are not analyzing the speaker. We are analyzing the evaluator. So analysis, recommendation, technique. So these are the specific points we judge against while the evaluation speech contestant performs on the stage. So analytical quality, just 40 points. Recommendations, whether recommendation is positive, helpful to the speaker, that gives maximum of 30 points. The technique, whether it is sympathetic, sensitive, motivational, whether it encourage the speaker, whether it acknowledge the speaker's way of presenting. So those techniques, if the evaluation contestant has used the technique effectively, he can get maximum 15 points under this particular judging criteria. Finally, the summation. You may have noticed an evaluator, an evaluation contestant always sums up towards the end. So if the summary is effective, summation is effective, all the analysis recommendation are concluded in his last few seconds summation, then he can get maximum of 15 points from a judge. Hope you all have understood the balance sheet properly. Can you just raise your hands if everything is clear so far? I can see the chat. Good. Wow. Okay. Good. Let's move on then. How to be a good judge. So so far we have understood the purpose of a speech contest, the purpose of judging, how the judging, how taking up the role of a judge helps you in improving your leadership skills. It's a good opportunity. And how to use this opportunity to the best way you can. Because we are here in Toastmasters to use the opportunities provided by Toastmasters to grow as a better speaker or leader. So let us use this opportunity of serving as a judge to grow ourselves as one of the best leader. So how to be a good judge, how you can utilize this skill or utilize this role the best way. For that, first, understand your obligation. We already covered this, but let us reinforce on this message again that you have obligation to the contestants. The contestants, if you see from their point of view, they have come prepared. A lot of hard work. They have put a lot of hard work in preparing their speeches, and they are coming here and delivering in front of you. So it's our obligation as a judge to ensure that the contestants' efforts are respected. So we give a objective judging to each contestant's performance. Now we have an obligation to Toastmasters International because the whole contest cycle, speech contest cycle started from club, area, division, district, and higher levels, world championship level. Toastmasters International has put this sequence to find the world champion of public speaking during each year. And to reach in that journey, the first step is at the club level. So we as a judge has this obligation to Toastmasters International to respect that system and give our best, our biasless judging during the contest at each level. Now the audience, it's not just the speakers, the contestants and the judges and the organizers. There are a lot of audience who's watching this, and they are watching everything, each row. More than we see as a judge, the audience will be seeing as a whole how the contest is being arranged, how the speakers are performing, and what results they are expecting, and the judges performing. So our obligation to audience to keeping up to the expectations. That's another obligation. Finally, and most importantly, I will say our obligation is to ourselves. We are here to take up any role in Toastmasters, the judging role, to develop ourselves. It's an opportunity, a big opportunity we have in our hand on that particular day of judging, to grow ourselves, to grow as a better listener, to grow as a better leader. A lot of leadership skills are attributes are included in this judging assignment. Don't miss that. So see your growth first, your own obligation to yourself, and that will set your mind very clearly how you can grow by utilizing this judging role. What makes a good judge? By being fair. That's one of the attribute of a good judge. A good judge will be fair, completely impartial, and set aside the friendship, age, race, or gender. And not even disapproval of a speech topic should affect your judgment. Now, I want you all, we have 317 participants here. I want you all to see these elements, what makes a good judge. This slide, when you go through it, see how this quality can improve your leadership skills. How this quality, by practicing, can take you to the next level as a good human being. So being fair, this is one of the opportunity you are getting by serving as a judge. When you are a judge, you set aside anything, even if your close friend is contesting, is a contestant, you will not be get biased with that friendship. You should be able to approach that in a fair way. Think about that. If you are able to do that in our life, your leadership skills will be taken to a higher level. So always see in that angle, accurate. As we already mentioned, the top portion of the ballot sheet, we are giving points against each judging criteria to each speaker, contestant. How accurately you can fill out the points, that make you a good judge. Trustworthy. Think about this. Are you considered trustworthy in your, say, workplace, social gatherings, at your home? See that. See, all this helps a lot to grow ourselves as a leader, not only in Toastmasters. That's why I mentioned as a human being, you are getting this opportunity as a judge to grow yourself as a better human being. Trustworthy. Contestants are counting on you. Officials are counting on you. Toastmasters International is counting on you. I always believe this, that whatever we do, it's seen by everyone. Imagine it's seen by everyone. And then you do your action. That concept, with that concept, you will do always right. At least you will tend to do the right thing. So being trustworthy is one of the, I would say, one of the best quality that we can develop by serving as a judge. Knowledgeable. To help you in developing this, we have conducted this session. We have gone in detail about each elements, each judging criteria in detail, to know the rules, to be familiar with the judging form. So develop that by practicing it again and again, by being a judge and by refreshing the judging criteria, the form, the contest rules again and again, you will become more knowledgeable, and that helps you to be a good judge. Good listener, that's very important. One of the best leadership skills that we all should practice is being a good listener. We may have heard this many times, but as a judge, you have this opportunity to be a good listener. How sharp you can be, how focused you can be. Just analyze yourself. As I mentioned earlier, there's no police in Toastmasters. You are the one committing to yourself to be a better leader, to be a good listener. So listen carefully. Do not get distracted. Let anything happen, even if there is some issue at the venue, the audience or some audience may, it's not, the room is not completely silent still. Don't get distracted. How focused you can be and how you can judge the speaker, how that 5 to 7 minute speech the speaker is delivering, the contestant is delivering, how you can be focused there, be attentive. It all helps you in developing this quality of being a good listener. And when you develop that, you become a good judge. And in turn, you become a good human being. That's the plus point of participating actively in the contest season, helping the club by taking up the judging role. And in turn, don't miss the opportunity, the golden opportunity to develop yourself. Keep practicing. You may not see the improvement on say 2 months, 3 months time frame. It just happens. In Toastmasters, the education program, it's not to give a magical results overnight. Over a period of time, it may be 1 year for someone's case, it may be 10 years for someone's case, but over a period of time, by continuous practice, you get the unimaginable result. It takes you to leadership, a higher level of becoming a better human being. So judging, again, keep taking up the judging role again and again to develop these leadership skills and to grow yourself as a better leader. Now, what can be the barriers to this judging idea? What can prevent us from being a good judge? What can prevent us from being objective in our approach, in our duty? Let's go through few points. It's not again the complete list. It's just to give you a hint or indication that these can affect, and it's up to you to find a way how this will not affect you in performing your duty as a judge and growing yourself as a better leader. The first barrier is it can be people may tend to remember the first and last speaker. So there's a concept that if you are the first speaker or the last speaker, they hold a slight advantage. But no, in reality, no. As I mentioned earlier, when as a judge, when you're filling up the points and tallying them, we compare the speakers against a baseline as one method against a base. Or we give the points for against each judging criterion that's defined in the balance sheet. So whether this first speaker, second speaker, last speaker, it should be same. You may have seen this sometimes after drawing the, the speaker position, when the contest chair draws the lots, the reaction from the contestants, oh, I'm the first speaker, I'm the last speaker, I'm the, so the position, it's a momentary reaction from the contestants. However, remember that it should not have any influence in the result. So, so as a judge, all the speakers are considered or judged against the criteria, defined criteria, irrespective of the speaker position. So let the speaker position is not a barrier to our judging. Second, underdog. So do you feel that we should give a chance to the to someone who is handicapped, or someone who has overcome a hardship, or a special person? As a judge, you do not. For for a judge, the only thing that should be the criteria used for judging should be the balance sheet, the defined judging criteria, the points. That's all. The rest, the personality or the individuals or the contestants' situation will not be affecting the judging. It should not be a barrier. Halo effect. It's attributing a favorable trait. Now, the halo effect is like you saw the speaker, the delivery is so good, the body language, just the movement and the stage is so good, but that should not affect why we are giving points against the other sections in the ballot, like the content, the delivery. So the content, that's separate, the delivery is separate. The delivery's effectiveness should not affect the points given under the other sections, content or the language. Now, it's against, see, we all are human. So we have our own likes and dislike. Some characteristics in the speaker, the contestants, if you like, it should not impact the markings or the points on the judge's balance sheet. Like a cool appearance. We should not give additional marks, additional points, or influenced points in the judging criteria balance sheet. And same way, some of the speakers who have reached up to the district level in the past, that should not be a criteria or should not impact at all the points given on that specific day of contest. So irrespective whether the speaker has done best in the past, whether the speaker has reached to the top level in the past, that should not be that should not influence the judges while giving points on that particular day of contest. So that's the halo effect, the prejudgment. Now, same way, there's a reverse halo effect also. Like as I mentioned, we are a human being. We like something, we dislike something. So if you find something that as a person we don't like in the speaker, that should not again influence the marking, influence the points. And same way, between the criteria, like if the content is, or as I mentioned earlier, the grammar is not good, that doesn't influence the points on other sections, the content and delivery. So one attribute should not have any impact on the other attribute. So each criteria in the balance sheet, defined criteria in the balance sheet, should be assessed separately and points to be given separately by seeing only that criteria. So the impact or the influence between the criteria, judging criteria, should be avoided. Second time around, as another barrier as a human being we may face when you are performing as a judge. The longer you are in Toastmasters, and if you have served as judge in many clubs or area contests in the past, you will be seeing the same speaker coming again and again, same contestant again and again. So the same contestant whose speech you have heard earlier will be in front of you when you are performing your role as a judge. That's quite common. Now, as a leader, it will be your success if, as a judge, you can see him as, as if he's speaking for the first time, and you are able to analyze him, based on the judges' criteria for the performance at that particular time without the prejudgment, without getting influenced by his past performance. So, say for example, if you are a judge at the club level, you have seen all the speakers' performance. Now, the speaker, when he moves to area level, he may be delivering the same speech. And if you are a judge there also, you may be listening to the same speech again. So you know what's coming next from him. You know the topic, you know the content, you know everything. However, can you forget about his speech completely as if you haven't heard it earlier and just focus on or listen to the speaker as if it's the first time you're hearing it? Because no one can repeat the speech exactly the same way. There will be some different. The speaker, even the speaker may have improved or not improved or changed some of his aspects during the speech. So forget about his past performance, just focus on that particular day's performance. Again, when I'm saying all those things back in your mind, please think about the development in you by focusing on this attribute, by developing this attribute, how it will help you to grow as a leader, as a human being. See that. That's the gem, that's the reward you are getting by practicing or by taking up the judging role again and again in Toastmasters speech contest time. So this is the right time. Now the no, not the no. Here, see, it's the concept we all have, but the social behaviors we approve, we don't approve. Say for example, someone who's coming without a tie. No, in Toastmasters, casuals are not allowed. We should be presenting the speech with tie, coat, suit, and all. No, it's up to the speaker to select the actor according to the speech contest, the content, speech content. So let us keep all those norms in our mind aside while we are judging the contestant on his performance that day. Again, the judging shall be totally based on the criteria, defined criteria. Same way, prejudices, personal preferences, we all have the personal preferences. We believe that it should be like this. We believe, our beliefs, our preferences should not affect or should not become a barrier in our judging. Now, most often we may think that this person was winning all these years. He was becoming a district champion. Let us give someone else a chance. No. Again, as a judge, this is not the right way. We have to find the winners based on the criteria, not based on any other judgment. But these are some common, this we already covered, but let us just refresh again the misconceptions we have. Serious speeches are better when it comes to international or international contestants should be presenting serious speeches only, motivational speech only. Not, that's only a misconception. It's again, if you understand the ballot sheet, the judging criteria, you will see that these are all misconceptions. And props, visual aids, music, all are allowed. Again, whether that matches with the content, matches with the speech delivery, that has its own points when you take up each judging criteria. The judging criteria, each of them can be influenced by the elements the speaker is giving out. Otherwise, these are all misconceptions. So don't let these misconceptions a barrier in your judging skills, developing your judging skill, developing leadership skills. That's about the judging. Now, what can be the disqualification? What are the elements of disqualification? As a judge, you should be knowing the disqualification elements. One, timing. Of course, there's a very clear timing, 5 to 7 minutes or 30 seconds extra. This is very clearly defined. The timer will be looking after that. As a judge, you don't need to worry about the timing at all. You shouldn't be tracking the timing at all. However, you should know that the speakers, the contestants can get disqualified if the speech timing is less or more than the defined timing slot, timing duration. Second is eligibility. Again, the speakers have their own eligibility. They don't need that eligibility. Say, for example, the speaker is not a paid member. He hasn't paid the membership dues, and he's not a paid member. He's not eligible. The originality, again, is clearly defined in the rule book. Up to 25% of the content can be borrowed from other sources, and it should be given its credit. So if the originality is not meeting the defined rules, the contestant can be disqualified. There's one more which was added few years ago, that's why the contestant. So the contestant, if he referred to another contestant during the same contest event, then it can lead to disqualification. The eligibility, again, as a judge, you don't need to bother about it. The contest chair will verify whether a contestant is eligible or not, whether he's a paid member, whether he meets the other criteria, other eligibility criteria. The contest chair will see that, and contest chair will get the form signed by the contestant that he meets all the eligible criteria, and he will be keeping with him. So it's the contest chair's responsibility. Now, before a contestant can be disqualified on the basis of originality, as 25% of the content, then before given an opportunity to respond, we'll see that separately. A majority of voting judges must concur to the decision to disqualify. We cannot just rule it out. There will be voting. The contest chair must notify the contestant of a disqualification, because it should be clearly conveyed to the contestant that you are disqualified based on this point. It should be very clear and accepted before we conclude the speech contest, before the winner is announced. And finally, all decisions are final. There is no, once the results is announced and the speech contest is closed, no more discussion on the winners list, or it's not getting revised unless it's proven later that the contestant was not eligible on that day. If it was overseen by the contest chair, then that particular contestant can be disqualified. Otherwise, the decisions are final. The winners list announced at the end of the contest is final, cannot be changed. Any disqualification, the contestant can protest that. Now, the protest is limited to eligibility, originality, and reference to other contestant speech. No other elements shall come into the protest criteria. And it must be only lost by the voting judges or the contestants, not the audience, not anyone else. Only the contestants and the voting judges can raise the protest to the contest chair or the chief judge. And if the audience have any opinion, that should not be considered at all as a protest. And this should be, if at all there is any protest, it should be lodged before the contest is concluded. Now, if there is a protest, then the suggested steps are like this. All the judges will gather together, the chief judge or the contest chair, whoever with the protest was lodged, will inform the chief judge. The chief judge will call all the judges. They all will gather together and discuss about the protest raised. Is it valid? Is it to be considered to the next level or not? That will be discussed among the judges and chief judge. Once it decided that it's valid, there is some point in that, then after the initial discussion, the speaker will be called to inform him. One is to make the speaker aware that there is a protest lodged by either another contestant or one of the voting judges, no one else. Then once the speaker is informed about it, he will be given the chance to discuss. So as judges, the group will be listening or giving an opportunity to the speaker to share his side. Once the speaker's points are listened, then the judges will be voting whether this protest shall be considered or not, whether the contestant should be disqualified or not. Now, the majority of this voting judges' decision, that will define whether the contestant can be disqualified or not. Again, once the decision is taken, the contestant should be called and informed that this is the final decision. So that's the suggested steps how a protest can be dealt with. Now, one of the very important one, we have 315 leaders here, empowered leaders here. Now, see, you all, I have one request to you all. Once we complete this session and go back to your routine life, please go to Toastmasters website, this page, under the Leadership Center Speech Contest, for Leadership Center Speech Contest. There are a lot of informative sessions, especially Speech Contest FAQ and the tutorials. See, whatever we discuss here today, you can see it at the Speech Contest tutorials, including some examples. So this is very important that you take your time, go through those videos, the Speech Contest tutorials, and refresh your understanding again, reinforce your understandings about judging. So this is a very informative tutorials. Please go through them. And one more thing, if some of your club members were not able to attend today's event, please share this link with them. Please promote among your club members. Please encourage your club members to go to Toastmasters website, Leadership Center, Speech Contest, the speech contest tutorials. Let every member, let them have this empowerment of how to be a good judge and what are the judging criteria by going through these speech contest tutorials. So even if anyone miss, any of your club members miss today's session, let this be a opportunity for them to go through and develop their leadership skills. Now, how we can expand this experience? We have seen the same judges coming over and over again. But I will say, during the club contest, the rule says any good standing member can be a judge. It's up to you, up to the club. However, how can we grow more leaders in our club? How can we give opportunities to more of our club members? So there may be some of the club members who are not participating in the club contest as contestant. It's a good opportunity for the club to pull in them to start their judging experience at the club contest. So give chance to your own club members to start their leadership journey as a judge. Let them experience, let them expand their boundaries as leaders. Let the club have more leaders. So this is an opportunity. Use that opportunity. This is my suggestion. And when you are committed to a role, whether it's judge or an organizer or a contest chair or even as contestant, focus on your role. That day, it's your day. You as a judge, focus on your judging. If you are a contestant, focus on your performance. If you are a tally counter, timer, or contest chair, or chief judge, or anyone, whatever role you are playing, focus on that selected role. Why? Because that will provide you the maximum growth during that 2 hour or 3 hour session. Don't get distracted with other things. Focus on that role. Give your best in that selected role and get the maximum benefit out of it. So make your annual club contest a wonderful opportunity. So that's about the judge. Now, when you're a chief judge, you have a little more extra to be taken care of. We'll quickly breeze through the chief judge's role also here before we conclude this session. So as a chief judge, you prepare, read the rule book, arrive early at the venue, ensure the venue arrangements, lies with the contest chair, again refresh again about the whole arrangement, the speaking area, ensure that the contest chair has taken the eligibility and originality certificates from all the speakers, got it signed, and refresh the protest procedure with the contest chair because as I mentioned earlier, the contest chair may be approached by one of the contestants with a protest. So the contest chair should be fully aware. As a chief judge, will be the one calling the judges and discussing the protest. The contest chair should be briefed how to handle a protest. Means the contest chair has to inform the chief judge. So all this can be done when the chief judge, if the chief judge arrives early at the venue. Now selection of judges. Again here, as I mentioned earlier, you can use the chief judge has to select the judges based on any criteria. See, especially at the higher levels, at the club level, as I mentioned, the best will be to develop more leaders within the club itself. Now, when you go to higher levels, area and division, as I mentioned earlier, there are more criteria, eligibility criteria. So that's to ensure the quality bar raises when you go to higher levels. So the judges qualification also is more stringent as we go to higher level. But at the club level, the starting level, it's more like growing the leadership opportunities. Now the quantity, again the quantity, number of judges based on each level is different as defined in the judges in the contest rule book. Again, the minimum number is defined, but there's no maximum number. You can have more and more judges to have a collective opinion. Qualification, always see the qualification as per the rule book. Judges briefing is a responsibility of the chief judge. Ensure that you cover all the points. The judge's certification eligibility code of ethics is understood by all judges, and the chief judge is collecting this, the signed certification eligibility and code of ethics, which you have reviewed in the beginning of the session. And here, encourage the judges to read that again. Don't sign blindly, but read each element again and ensure that the eligibility and code of ethics are understood word by word, point by point, line by line. That's very important. If you are not sure about anything, inform the chief judge your inability to judge on that, take up the role that way. Confidentiality, judges should remain confidential. And encouraged to refresh criteria on judges' parodies, we have already said. The more and more you read it, the better. Print full name and sign that we have already mentioned. The first thing you can do is, after getting the ballot, is to write your name and sign. Sit close to the contest area, wherever is convenient for you, where you are comfortable, that you can focus on the contest that day. So select the seat accordingly. And note to timing, as you mentioned, timing is, the timers will take care of the timing. As a judge, your focus will be only on the contestant's performance, and you will be marking the points based on the defined criteria. Consider only today's performance, rank first, second, and third winners, hand over ballot to the tally counter. All this will be briefed again by the chief judge to the judges. So that's chief judge's role to ensure that the judges are aware of it. One more time, refresh it again during the briefing. Now, chief judge has to brief the role players also. This tie-breaking judge, there's no need of briefing. All aspects of judge's briefing, though it's applies, the rules applies, but he doesn't have to, the tie-breaking judge doesn't have to attend the judge's briefing officially. Maintain confidentiality, rank all speakers. That's very important. The tie-breaking judge has to rank all speakers. The chief judge will be selecting the tie-breaking judge in confidence. So the tie-breaking judge has to rank all speakers. All other judges, voting judges will be ranking only the first three. The other judges, the voting judges, will be handing over the ballot to the tally counter, whereas the tie-breaking judge will be handing over the ballot sheet to the bottom portion of the ballot sheet to chief judge. And the tiebreakers ballot sheet, bottom portion of the ballot sheet, will be used only to break a tie. It will not be counted. Sergeant at arms. As a role player, the sergeant at arms has to take care of the evaluation table topics. Contestants, they should be moved away from the contest room. They should not be hearing the proceedings happening in the contest room. So that's that the chief judge can ensure that the sergeant at arms doing the role can brief the sergeant at arms that they are taken away to sufficient distance away from the contest room so that they will not be hearing the other contestants' performance while they are waiting at the room away from the contest room. The evaluation notes, the specific evaluation notes are distributed to the evaluation contestants. That's to be ensured. Now, the other facilities at the contest room arranged by the contest the team has to be reconfirmed by the chief judge, like the mic is ready, the positions are ready, and if there are if there are lady contestants, the sergeant at arms or the lady sergeant at arms is available to take care of, to make them comfortable with the clip-on mic, etc., the audio test, entry, exit venue. All these are to be ensured by the contest officials and reconfirmed by the chief judge. Timers, at least 2 timers should be there. One will be taking care of the timing device, and the other one will be taking care of the stopwatch. So one with the light or the signals, and one will be recording the timing. There will be backup equipment, and the start of timing will be first verbal, non-verbal communication. All this will be uh, detailed again, refreshed again by the chief judge while briefing the timers. And again, the minute of silence to be observed between the speeches so that the judges can mark the ballot properly. Or, and finally, if the timing exceeds or it is less than the allocated duration, that also has to be mentioned by the timers and notified to the chief judge in the ballot sheet, in the timer sheet. Tally counters, there will be 2 counters, minimum 2 counters, and at the district level, it will be 3. They are responsible for collecting the ballot and counting the ballots, tallying them with the chief judge at the end of the contest. So here, tally counter, one of the best practice will be to capture the name of judges and contestants beforehand, so that they can fill and keep the counters sheet ready. During the contest, observe fairness. We mentioned it earlier. There should be 1 minute of silence between the contests so that the judges can mark the ballot and in a focused way. Evaluation, target speaker and contestant notes, arranging the target speaker, ensuring that the contestant know the specific format is distributed among the contestants. All this has to be ensured. Monitor the venue, especially during the evaluation and table topics, and of the contestants after each speech, and the guest not to interrupt the the proceedings in between. Most importantly, nowadays, the mobile phones, to ensure they are in silent mode, repeat announcement in between, to ensure there is no distractions. Because we mentioned that the judges has to be focused. So whatever the contest officials can do to ensure that no distraction in the room, that would be much appreciated. Recording of proceedings, you can record this the condition speech for later review, but again with the permission of the contestants. Contest chair instructions, contest chair table topics, all this, there are a lot of things the contest chair can prepare. There are checklist, practice, and again, as mentioned, the contest chair also is improving his leadership skills a lot. So reviewing his role, focusing on his role that day, the contest chair also has a lot of opportunity to improve the leadership skills. Now, many times there can be something can go wrong during the contest. Whatever we prepare, something can go wrong. If something seriously goes wrong, something is not really right, immediately halt the contest. Again, the contest chair or the chief judge will be the one giving the instruction and fix it immediately. The worst case, we may have to restart the contest, that particular contest. However, do it, correct it. That's another leadership lesson we all can practice. This is the contestant note for evaluation. Please use this format only, not the plain paper, not anything else. Only this sheet shall be used for the evaluation speech contestant to record by the contestants to record the notes. Finally, tallying the result. So this is for the tally counter. When the tally counter receives the bottom portion of the judge's ballot sheet, each item has to be entered. Name of the judge has to be written here. If the name known earlier, you can write down here. The name of contestants will be written here, and against it, 3, 2, or 1. The first place, 3 points for the first place, 2 points for the second place, 1 point for third place. Only that will be written here, and that it will be tallied here. In case there is a tie among the final tallied figure, then only the tiebreaker judge sheet will be referred. We'll see how to break the tie. In case there's a tie, how to break it. Let us just demonstrate it here. Suppose we have, after the tally counters ranking, in the tally sheet, say in this sheet, the name of contestants are here. We'll see in the next one the name of contestant. And if there's a tie or if there is no tie, say it will be like this. The first position, Ahmed and Gil, they were tied, say 75 points for each. Susan got 70 points, Yusuf got 60 points. So if this is the order, in tally counters ranking sheet, you see that Ahmed and Gil got tied, Susan and Yusuf. And now, as there is a tie, we have to refer to the tie-breaking judges official ballot. It says like this: first place is Susan, second place is Philip, third place Ahmed, fourth place is Yusuf, fifth place is Gil. Now here we are seeing Ahmed, Gil got tied, Susan and Yusuf second and third place. Now we have to break. First thing is we have to break the tie. We have to find out who is number one. How we will do it in the contest notification winner? Who is the first place winner? How will we break this tie? So as the tie is between Ahmed and Gil, we should see only Ahmed and Gil in the tie-breaking judges ballot sheet. Ahmed is here, Gil is here. So Ahmed ranks before Gil in the tiebreaker sheet. That's all what matters. So that means Ahmed shall be number 1 and Gil shall be number 2. So straight away, write down Ahmed, Gil. So we have broken the tie between Ahmed and Gil. Ahmed is top and Gil comes next. Yeah. Now, next is Susan. So Susan comes next. So we had write Susan and then Yusuf. But is that all? We have seen one more name here, Philip. So there are 5 contestants. The tie-breaking judge will name all the contestants. There are 5 contestants, whereas the tally counters got only 4 names in it. That means Philip got maybe 0 points, but still we have to mention Philip also in the notification of contestant. He may be last, but we have to write his name also. Suppose there are more people, more contestants who are not mentioned in the tally counters ranking, then you have to break that tie. Even 0 is a tie. Break that tie and write down the remaining contestants' names here. Now let's take another scenario. Same tie-breaking judges ballot sheet. However, the tally counters ranking says number 1 is Philip, 2 there is a tie, Susan and Yusuf. Next is Gil. How will we fill in the notification of contest winner? How will we fill in the winners' names, first, second, third place? First is Philip, no doubt. There's no tie. Now, for the second and third position, there's a tie between Yusuf and Susan. How to find who is second place winner and who is third place winner? So here again, Susan and Yusuf. Tie is between Susan and Yusuf. So refer to tie-breaking judges ballot only these 2 names, Susan and Yusuf. So Susan, Yusuf. So 2 names only. Susan comes before Yusuf. So we have to write Susan and then Yusuf. That's the only purpose of the tie-breaking judge, just to break the tie. All there is one. And next is Gil. Is that all? No, we have to write Ahmad also, because Ahmad was not tally counters ranking, but he's a contestant listed in the tie-breaking judges parachute. Managing, we have already mentioned that how we can manage the protest. Announcing the result, notify if there are any disqualifications, winners, always announce the 3 winners, first, second, third place winner. If there are less than 3 contestants, say only 2 or 1, then the rule is like we want to announce the first, second, and third. As there are only 2, announce the first and second. If there is only 1, announce the 1. Ranking all qualified contestants to contest chair. When I say qualified, time disqualification or the eligibility disqualification or other disqualification, they will be removed from the final list. But all qualified contestants are to be mentioned in the final list. So the announcement is final. Only case if then the uh, contest chair wrongly announces, then if there's tally counters or timers can interrupt and say, no, this is not the, or interrupt and correct the announcement. Otherwise, the winner's announcement will be final. And once it's announced, once the contest is concluded, destroy all supporting documents, because we are not going back to analyze the results. That's final. The results are final and closed, concluded. No more discussion on the results after the contest is concluded. So this is the result form that will be given to the contest chair by the chief judge after filling the third place, second place, and first place winner. And the announcement will be made in this order, the reverse order. Third place first will be announced, then second place and first place. And if there's a time disqualification, that will be announced before announcing the winners' names. And finally, the chief judge will fill up the notification of contest winner. We have seen how it will be filled, how the tie will be broken. And this list will be filled with all the qualified contestants in their placement order and forward to the next level of the contest cycle. That's club level. The notification of contest winner will be forwarded to the area level and will be used by the area level to decide the participants in area level. So this is used by, say, area level to see, suppose the first place winner is not available, then the second place winner will proceed. So to give a very clear indication, if at all any contestant, first place, second place, see, there can be a possibility that first 3 contestants are not available due to whatever reason, then the fourth one will get a chance. So maintaining this notification of contest winner with the next level contest chair or the contest officials will help them to select the next winner in the list for that contest. Okay, we'll leave the questions for later. We can take a 5-minute stress break. Are we okay with that?
Uh, Before that, we'd like to take a photograph of all our participants. So let's have the logo smile with the video on.
Stop share here. Yeah.
Thank you. So 1 second, I'll just remove this slide. Yes.
We already have people raising hands, but we'll just hold on. Don't want to miss the logo smiles.
Ditim Punnas Yeah, one second. I'll just take the pictures now. I'm waiting for
Yeah, we are
everyone to
missing
switch
your
on.
smile too.
I was just trying to bring DTM Pun into the main page and DTM Deepa
Yes.
as well. DTM Deepa, if you can just switch on your video. Everyone else. Thank you.
And DTM Pun is with his blue pagdi, which is blue is the color for learning. So the right color for today. Thank you, sir.
Yes, I'm done.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. So we'll back after say 3-4 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. Do
Then
stretch.
12,
Yeah,
10
just
we'll
stretch.
begin. Stretch
And
and come back. Yes.
let me use this time to go through the chat box. I couldn't go through them. If there is any points, we'll make it clear after towards the end of the session. Thank you. Yeah, take a stress break, which is really required.
Toastmaster Sudha, can you please restart the session?
Yes. Hello, hello, hello. I think we've done enough stretching and we are all getting ready for the next part of the session from DTM Sunil. This is about contest management. So I'll leave the virtual floor to DTM Sunil to take over without wasting any more time. Over to you, DTM Sunil.
Thank you so much, DTM Sudha.
I'm not DTM as yet.
You will be soon. So I'm advancing. I'm giving an advance recognition.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome all again for this session on club contest management. Rather than club contest management, I will focus on how to use the club contest as an opportunity. Let me ask our leaders, all leaders, I think 300 plus leaders here. Do you feel that your club face an issue, a challenge at this moment? Any challenge? If you feel, just raise your hand. Okay, we can see many of the hands raised. So we know that our clubs from time to time encounter challenges. It's common, it's normal in the journey. Even the best clubs sometimes face some challenge. It may be the membership issues, it may be the enthusiasm among the members, it can be anything, but there can be challenges. So we'll see how a club contest can be used to overcome these challenges. In today's session, we'll just go through these elements, but mainly focusing on how the annual speech contest can be used to the advantage of a club. Now, as we have seen, the speech contest objective is to provide competitive speaking experience to Toastmasters members, provide interesting education program for members and the public, provide the audience an opportunity to learn by observing proficient speakers. The hidden opportunity in these 3 points can be used to solve any of the challenge your club is facing today. So always say yes to any opportunity that knocks at your door. And you ensure the speech contest is fair and enjoyable event for everyone. Rest everything will follow. And you will see your club is vibrant again after the speech contest. Let's see how. Let's see the basics. The types of contest. There's English speech contest. And as per the rule book, the international speech contest is a must. And also the district is allowed to conduct 3 speech contests. So we in District 105 has voted for evaluation, humorous and table topics. Then there is Arabic speech contest. So the district, as per the speech contest rule book, is allowed to conduct up to 4 non-English speech contests. So these 4 non-English speech contests are Arabic speech contest and Arabic humorous, evaluation, and table topic speech contest. The 4 speech contests that's being approved by District 105 among all the clubs in District 105. The contest cycle progress from club, area, division, and district. So we encourage all our members to come out of their comfort zone and try to participate in our club contest so that we improve the leadership skills and ensure that the club overcome the challenge. Always follow the rule book. I'm sure you all may have seen this rule book. If not, please ensure that you download the latest rule book, July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. Every year, the rule book is revised. Please use the latest rule book, and there can be a lot of changes which is clearly marked in the rule book. So, it's very important that we refer to the latest rule book because rule changes are made once in a year by administrative protocol with the approval of the international president-elect and the chancellor, and these are highlighted by marking in the rule book. So please ensure that the rule book is followed. It's the protocol and it applies to all speech contests. No exemptions are permitted. So please ensure that you follow the rule book. And many times you may have some suggestions on the rule book. So by telling the suggestions just among our members will not help. But if you have any suggestion, please you need to write to Toastmaster International with this suggestion, and they will be taken seriously, and it will be discussed among the board. And if it's accepted across the globe, it will be reflected in the next revision from next year onwards. So please feel free to use your power to suggest. To ensure enjoyable club contest, plan carefully and conduct professionally. So to plan carefully, the contest chair, ensure that we have the contest chair, chief judge, contestants all finalized well in advance. The contest chair, timers, counters, and perform. To ensure the quality, the contest chairs are trained. Once the contest chairs are selected, train the contest chairs, judges training, which we are doing right now. Then the planning of the event, contestants are mentored or help them. As a club, we can help all of the contestants with whatever help they need. Find a suitable location, use the Toastmasters branded material. We have the clear checklist to help in organizing the contest effectively. It's all given in the rule book. So please use the rule book and ensure the contest chair has planned the event early, and we don't need to leave it to the contest chair alone. The club together can support this. The budget, venue, team, giving a good team among the to conduct the contest. Publicity is very important. The VPPR can publicize the club contest. It's a special event for the club. Publicize it. Let us ensure more and more people, audience, the public are attending the club contest so that you can use this as a marketing event. Contest rule book, make them available, distribute them, trophy, certificate, keep them ready, agenda, and the briefing to the role players. That's also really important. Spread the awareness. The more aware our members, club members, especially the one who have joined recently, about the contents of contest and how it helps in speaking ability. So just ensure it's all available now for free download. So make sure use them. These are the checklist.
I think we've lost the team. Sunil.
I think we lost him for a minute. Okay. Until he logs in again, we got a couple of questions in the chat. Maybe we can handle this before he comes over. Is he back in?
Yeah.
I think so, yes.
All right. So he's back. TTM Sunil, are you there?
Yeah, I think,
All right.
am I audible now?
Yes, yes, over to you.
Okay. We were discussing about the planning the contest. So ensure that you get all the branded material downloaded from the Toastmasters website and use it during your club contest. The checklist is very important. The contest rule book gives a checklist for contest chair, chief judge, and everyone. So use them here, the preparation, what all we have to go through during the preparation, the contest chairs preparation, then the contest briefing, during the contest, after the contest. All this extensively is written in the contest rule book. Go through that. Let us follow that. Conduct a quality club contest and grow in in overall damage. So chief judge, same way, chief judge starts with checklist, appoint judges, timers, and counters in advance, reconfirm the eligibility, briefing, do the briefing. So go do all the preparation early. So this is where we can ensure that a quality contest is delivered and make everyone, the club members, the annual club contest as a memorable event. Select judges carefully, ensure judges are aware of contest rules, procedures, responsibilities, and duties. These are done during the briefing or even before. Conduct judges briefing before every contest. Don't assume, don't prejudge. Even with experienced judges, the briefing is very important. Review the judges' guide and ballot and encourage the judges to go through the ballot, refresh them again, refresh the points, the judging criteria again and again. And as we mentioned earlier, the bias, fairness, all this shall be avoided. Bias should be avoided, and we have to ensure the fairness during the judging. And the barriers, discuss the barriers, and ensure that nothing stops us from doing a fair judgment. Review the rules, conduct workshop, and go to the Toastmasters website, review those education sessions, the videos, that they are very helpful. Go through the chief judges checklist in the speech contest rule book before the contest, during the contest, after the contest. Now, this is a typical club contest plan. Let's spend a few minutes on this particular slide. How can we ensure that the club contest, we get the maximum benefit from club contest? Plan early. I will say it's only for guideline. Say early November, call for a special EXCOM to finalize plans for club contest, finalize the contest date. You can discuss, you can conduct the club contest in different way, like conduct all 4 contests in a single day or conduct in 2 parts. Whatever is convenient to you, your club, please select that. EXCOM can decide that. The club president and VP education will be in charge to decide this. They call for the EXCOM, the president call for the EXCOM and conduct this and decide on how to conduct the club contest. But the main point here is have that vision that we want to utilize the annual club contest to resolve all clubs challenges that being faced at this point of time. From that approach, you can get maximum benefit from this club contest. Now, end of the day, November, once you finalize this towards inform the contest date to area division team also. Once we have done all the preparatory works and you have finalized the date, the members are happy with that, members started preparing for it, ensure there is no more changes, inform the area division team also. Early December, announce the dates during club meetings by mail to all members, encourage the members to participate and ask members to prepare for contest, arrange practice sessions. That's very important. Anyone who needs help, mentoring, let's do that. This is how we can make this like a celebration. Like the annual event will be, the club contest will be something a memorable, make it memorable for all the members. Those who participate will see the support from other club members. In members can unite together, support each other. The festival, the annual club contest, where everyone comes together, celebrate, and enjoys. 4 weeks prior to the club contest date, call each member, collect their interest in participation, make the complete list who all will be participating in the international speech contest, humorous, table topic, evaluation. If totals are there, that also. Now, totals are not there for District 105. We have decided on this remaining four contests to ensure or encourage the members to participate in most of the contest or let us ensure maximum participation. 2 weeks prior to contest day, finalize the contest participant list. There's a final list. Then now focus on the final list and prepare the remaining adjustments, continue with the remaining arrangements, finalize the chief judge, role players, timer, tally counters from non-contestants. Keep the contestants focused on their part. Let them do their best. Each individual, let them grow by performing that particular role the best way they can. Prepare meeting agenda, check the duration of contest, ensure enough breaks in between so that you start and finish within the allocated time. And again, 1 week before, confirm everything is in order, confirm the availability of judges with chief judge, and if any arrangement has to be adjusted or fine-tuned, do that. And final agenda to among all members. Finally, conduct the club contest best way you can. Notification form and the next level, area level. For everything, ensure there's a backup plan. Anything can happen. So in the case the backup plan, even have a backup plan for the venue. As we mentioned earlier, this is go through these tutorials and empower themselves. The awareness is the best we can use to motivate the members. If you see the challenge you are facing in your club is the motivation level of members, this is the best opportunity. It's a special event and it's a single point solution for all your club issues. If you have doubts, then I can say a few examples how we have even rejuvenated the whole club, which was in a low, feeling low, to a complete new dimension just because of conducting, just due to the club contest being held in a quality way, in a memorable way. You can see here how the quality speech contest can help in raising the the members' enthusiasm. So when the contestants are helped, they will feel more loyalty to the club. You know, the more attached the members are with your club, the more they feel that this is my club, then you will see most of your club's problems are solved. The challenges are, you can see to the road towards out of the challenge. And it's an opportunity for members to progress on path-based education award. This may be a motivation, bring opportunity for the senior or long-term members to set their higher goals. If at all they are a bit silent during last few months, if you're seeing your long-term members are a bit silent, bring them back. Let this be an opportunity to get rejuvenated. And ensure that speakers draft the speech and practice well in advance. Any help they need, any mentoring they need, give them so that they feel valued. That's one of the quote I really love. There is, you start, your starting is most important. Don't wait till you're an expert. The first step is very important. So if any of your club members is hesitant to make that first step, use this club contest, annual club contest, as an opportunity to push through the fear. If your club is facing membership challenges, this is the best opportunity to bring back inactive members to the club. Make a showcase event. Let the public, let those who have just heard about Toastmasters or not heard about Toastmasters, bring them, invite them to the event, and let them be mesmerized with the quality speeches, the arrangements you make, and let them be your members and future leaders of your club. Make it like an open house. So use this to get more members to your club and win the Talk Up Toastmasters Award also by having 5 or more members during the month of February and March. The choice is yours. As a responsible club member, is the time you can show your club is the best club together with other members and the ESCO members. Make the best use of this season, the contest season. We have covered this. This is another opportunity. Have more members from your club take up the judging role. Let them grow as future leaders. Let this be the first step to meet any challenge you face in the club leadership. Some of the clubs may be facing issue or challenge for not having enough leaders to take up the club ESCOM. So these are the way you can resolve those challenges or meet those challenges to grow more leaders from your club. So let your club enjoy having a bigger team, a team who stands together, who are aware of the rules, who are all prepared, who are ready to have the fun, to enjoy this annual club contest. Let every role player grow to higher level of excellence. Let every member grow to higher level of excellence. Let them feel valued. Let the members see this as an opportunity to grow. So don't hesitate. It's your club. It's your event. It's your festival that's coming up. A wonderful opportunity for you and your club members. Together we can grow. Together we will be there to take our club to the next level. Let us work for it. Thank you very much. I think we can take up the question and answer if there is time, or quickly we can go through few points.
Thank you, DTM Sunil, for such, how can I say, you dissected every element of being a judge, a chief judge, and even conducting a contest. So let's give him a big round of applause virtually. Yes, he deserves it. Thank you so much. And despite the technical challenges, we made it. So fantastic job. And I cannot forget the session you conducted back in Jordan in 2016 when you were PQD at the time. And I said, it's only you who will conduct it this time, because I like your analytical way of handling every single slide, the details that we tend to miss. Even I've been doing this judging for so many years. It's always great to listen to this refresher. The more we listen to these trainings, the more we become competent judges and leaders. Thank you so much. I sent you a bunch of questions already. Have you seen them? Or maybe I can go over them. All right, maybe I can help you with that. All right, so the first question we had, one of the members is suggesting, can we have like table topics contest as a part of the club meetings? What do you think of this as an idea?
Of course, as I mentioned the last session, how to conduct the club contest is up to the club members, ex-com and members. You together can decide what is the best effective way to conduct the contest. You can have even 4 sessions, 4 separate sessions for 4 categories. So the whole objective is that the members should benefit from it. So whatever, how to conduct, even if you want to conduct the table topic session during one of the club meetings, make it like that, but define that this 1 hour is dedicated for table topic contest. Define it, let the arrangements be there, and let everyone enjoy. So you're free, the club is free to conduct the way they want.
The second question is, this is one suggestion from one of the area directors, in order to ensure the quality, like having like exams for the judges who attend in order to ensure high quality. But I believe there's nothing like that by Team I. What do you think, DTM Sunil?
Yeah. It's good to have the awareness, spread the awareness among the judges and ensure the quality. See, at the same time, we should not be restricting the judging experience. Open it to more wider set. That's why I mentioned at the club level, utilize that flexibility of having the fresh judges. This is where we can train the judges. And here, let me tell you another a tip. When you have the next club meeting, instead of selecting the best speaker, evaluator, table topic expert just by intuition, use the judges' balance sheet. Why don't you distribute the judges' balance sheet among all the members? Let them mark the points and find the winners. Select the winners based on the judges' balance sheet instead of the Mentimeter or just the intuition. So that will help them to learn, spread awareness about the balance sheet. So this is one way we can grow more judges in the club level.
Actually, at the international convention, if you remember, even the audience, they gave us the ballot on the seat. So even the audience can judge the international speech contest. So not only the official judges. So it's a matter of practice. Another question is, since you're immediate past region advisor, this is one suggestion from one of the presidents, Toastmaster Kanti from Keynoters, why restricting only to the international speech contest? Why not going for applying for the humorous evaluation table topics? You should write an email, right?
Yeah, why don't we suggest that to our headquarters?
Why?
Yes. But however, the concept is that we want to get a world champion. The world champion public speaking, the international speech contest has all the elements of a good speech. That's why that is taken to all the way up to world headquarters. Others For the time being, it stops at the district level. But no harm, we can suggest this to the committee and let us see.
All right. One question here is, how would the judge judge the props? The usage of the props?
There is no judging. As you have seen the judging criteria, props, whether the contestant use a prop or not use the prop, that's not a judging criteria. However, if that is effective, it adds, if that adds a little bit more on the effectiveness or reinforcing the point, then of course in that particular criteria, the judges can give more points. Otherwise, the props has no effect in the judging criteria. And the speaker is free, the contestant is free to use any type of prop. The only condition is that the prop, usage of prop, what type of prop and all should be informed to the contest chair and chief judge in advance. Second, after the contest, clear the prop from the stage immediately. That's the responsibility of the contestant.
Thank you. One question on, can you please clarify the disqualification in reference to another contestant speech? I mean, one of the disqualification when a contestant refer a point. Can you please refer a point mentioned by another contestant? Can you please elaborate on this?
This is added. This point is added under the disqualification criteria a couple of years ago. A new point rather. See, many times you may have seen humorous speech and or you may have seen that the lower level speaking order contestants referring to a previous contestant's note and all. That's not allowed now. It's referring to the previous speaker or the content and twisting that or using those content or those speakers, even the name of the speaker, that can influence the judges. So to avoid such influences, Toastmaster International in the rule book has added this particular point that don't refer to the previous speakers or judges. Again, this can be through one of the suggestions from one of our members. So all the suggestions are taken seriously by Toastmaster World Headquarters, and they have reviewed it. They found it acceptable and included it in the rule book officially now. So this is to avoid any bias or any. Basically, what we are promoting here is prepare the speeches well in advance and present it in his own way, not to get influenced by or refer on the previous speakers or its contents.
I think we have room for a couple of questions because anyway, we have to finish the top of the hour. One interesting question now, we mentioned the baseline as a reference. For example, if one judge gave, let's say, higher mark in terms of content for speaker number 1, and then they found that the speaker number 2 is better in content, can they adjust the marking? That is the question. Because you mentioned the baseline as first speaker as your reference, for example. So basically, how can they adjust the marking? I think it's
not see, going back to the already marked one is not preferred. No, see, the speaker, when you listen to him, you're fresh with that content and all, with that elements of judging criteria. Then you are getting 1 minute to sum it up. That's the 1 minute you are focused on that particular speaker and write down all the judging criteria, the points. Then you're keeping that aside. When you're on the second speaker, you're focusing on the second speaker, but your points may be judged or based on the base. If the first speaker is the basis, then just mark a plus or minus based on the first speaker. You can use your own baseline.
Yeah.
So don't go back and correct the previous markings, but keep progressing on your the contestants, focusing on that particular contestant, one contestant at a time.
Yeah. And one question here, is it a requirement for the judge to be a good speaker, to be a good judge?
Can you repeat that again?
Can, for a judge to be a good judge, does he or she need to be a good speaker, like a, in public speaking?
It's completely different tracks. Like we used to say we have two tracks, communication track and leadership track. One who is a good communicator need not be a good leader. One who is a good leader need to be a good communicator. Or, it's a two different traits. So a good judge need not be a good speaker. One who have not even participated in club level speech contests can be a good judge because it's a leadership quality. As I mentioned many times, it's the leadership traits, skills that we are developing by taking up the judges role, judging role, not becoming a better speaker. That's two different aspects.
Yeah. And one question here, I mean, can a club invite other members to judge in their club contests, even if they haven't attended the judges training? Again, we have to go back to the rule book and the criteria for the judges. What are the criteria to be a judge? Over to you, DTM Sunil.
Yeah, there's no rule like that. Anyone can attend, anyone can be, as long as they meet the judges' eligibility. That's why I mentioned the best for a club will be give this opportunity to the club members, non-contesting club members. Let them all enjoy, utilize this opportunity, spread the leadership opportunity among the members.
This is how we practice. We start at the club and then we go up, right, in the ladder. Yes. And one interesting question, because with the new regulations in UAE now, with this, I don't know, the holidays, apparently, how would this plan holding a contest? I think let's see how this develops, because this has just been announced, right? The 4.5-day holiday. So how would this basically affect scheduling club contests? I think this is for the leaders to decide. So I don't think that's our arena, right, DTM Sunil, to answer this at this stage. Yes.
I will again say the club, the 20 members or 30 members or 10 members of your club, they are the focal points. We are doing this annual club contest for those members. So whatever is convenient for them, whatever is suitable for them, let us club contest accordingly, because they are the beneficiaries. End of the club contest, as I mentioned, this opportunity we want to use to rejuvenate the clubs.
Yeah.
So make the members more happier with whatever they want. If they want to use the holidays time to conduct the club contest, involve more, use that. Schedule accordingly.
Sorry, it's not holiday, it's 4.5 working days. I said holiday. I mean, everyone is envying the people in UAE 4.5 working days. Sorry about that. I said holiday.
You said what they wish.
Oh, that's so dumb from my side anyway. And one question, I think this is the last question, then we wrap it up. Many people, they basically take, they copycat some of the humorous contests, stand-up comedians, and they're not disqualified. But if nobody objects, how would they be disqualified, right? DTM Sunil, over to you.
Yeah, if nobody objects, they sail through. But here again, that's one of the points I mentioned earlier, integrity, ethics. See, we have an obligation to ourselves. The speakers, the contestants have an obligation to themselves. So see this, are we doing justice to it? So are we growing by taking up that particular role? So try your best to make it an original form. We can always find, from our own experience, there are a lot of things happening around us. We can see it in a humor side and present it. So these are the abilities we are developing by participating in the contest. So winning or getting the trophy is not the ultimate aim, but growing ourselves as a speaker, as a leader. That's more important.
Thank you. I think I'll give it one last question, and then I'll just present the vote of thanks slides. For example, as a judge, you rank two people as number one. How can you basically decide which is first, which is second?
Each judge has to break the tie. He can break by going through his notes, refreshing again how he presented, and going through those points again, like each elements for those two, you can go through again on those points, refer to the notes, and who is on the higher side, and break the tie. And that you have to do within that last 5 minutes. After the contest, you get 5 minutes to fill in the balance sheet tally. That time you have to break the individual judges. And when the bottom portion of the sheet is given, the balance sheet is given to the counter or the chief judge, you have to ensure there are no ties mentioned there. The tie has to be broken, and first, second, third place winner should be clearly mentioned in the bottom portion of the ballot. Or if it is a tie-breaking judge, all contestants has to be marked in the order without mentioning any tie. You cannot say contestants A and contestant B share first prize. No, that will become invalid. So that
Yes.
if you mention like that, the ballot sheet will become invalid, and the chief judge or counters will not even count. They will keep that aside straight away.
I think we're done with the questions, more or less. And thank you again, DTM Sunil. I'd like to share my screen. I think I have sharing rights, right? Let me see if I can do that.
Yes, DTM Rani.
Yes, I do have. Let me just make it in the presentation mode. Just
Thank
a
you
second.
all. Thank you all the members for the comments. I was just
Wonderful
glancing
audience.
through. Yeah, and it's I'm overwhelmed by having 315, 300, more than 300 members on the Saturday morning, and the presence of our leaders, DD Govinda, immediate past DD Nelson, and PQD, Rane, yourself, and all our leaders, CGDs. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And all my good friends, I can see many of my friends' faces here. Thank you all. Thank you very much for attending this and supporting.
And thank you, DTM Sunil, for basically gracing this wonderful session. I mean, this is just a simple token, just a show of appreciation on behalf of the PQD team and the District 105. I mean, for basically enriching our knowledge. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And we've been in delegation for weeks now, even with the team before, to have this fantastic session. I cannot also go without thanking DTM Shutlu Prashad, the head of the judges committee this year. He's done a fantastic job preparing all the slides and everything, which I share with DTM Sunil. He's not in the presence today, but I owe him a big thank you to DTM Shutlu Prashad for wonderful work since the beginning of the year, accompanied by TM Suda Narayan, who's also on the team, and Toastmaster Arnold. The three of them, we had long sessions beforehand to prepare for this session. So amazing job for all of them. Thank you so much to all of them. Also to Toastmaster Ramaswamy for handling the registration form. He's in India now, but thanks all go all the way to India from us here in District 105. Again, to Toastmaster Sharon for handling the Zoom mastering today, along with our dear logistic manager, Toastmaster Chujita, for handling the what was happening in the behind the scenes. Nobody wants to know, but we managed to pull through. Thank you so much. And of course, for the fantastic audience, for being with us. Still 178. So you have resilience power, people. Thank you so much for staying for these 3 long hours. And without further ado, enjoy your lunch. And let's have a fantastic contest season this year. We'll share the recording, we'll share the slides. If you have any questions, you can always welcome to reach out to us, and always go back to the rule book. That's a lot of information, references, plenty of resources on the website and the rule book. Most of the questions will be answered there, but you're more than welcome to reach out to us, and we'll share the list of judges again for the clubs to approach for the upcoming contest season. So thank you so much. And with this, I would like to adjourn the session. See you later next time in our next event. All the best. Bye-bye.